Mortgage rates just dipped again. We're right back around that 6.09% on the average 30-year fix. Sounds like good news, but here's the part that doesn't make sense. Existing home sales just dropped 8.4%, and this hit their lowest pace in over 2 years. So today I'm answering the question everyone keeps asking. If rates are getting better, why does it still feel so hard to buy a house right now? If we haven't met yet, I'm Zach. I'm a real estate agent right here in Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm in the market every single week with buyers and sellers. So I want to break this down in plain English, and then I'll show you what it means locally right here in Birmingham. Because the headlines make it sound simple, but the reality is weird right now. Rates just dropped, and here's what that actually means. So, quick question, when you hear rates drop, do you automatically assume homes are about to get cheaper? Because that's the trap. Here are the exact numbers. Freddie Mac's weekly survey has the 30-year fix at 6.09% as of February 12, 2026. That's down from 6.11% the week before. And a year ago, it was at 6.87%, and the 15-year mortgage is at 5.44%. Now, here's why this matters in real life. If you're financing, say, $350,000, the difference between 6.87% and 6.09% is roughly about $180 a month on your principal and interest. That's not small. That's groceries, that's a car payment, that's daycare money. So yes, rates dipping helps, but I need you to hear this. A slightly better rate doesn't magically fix the housing market, because the bigger problem isn't only the rate, and the proof is what actually happened in sales. So sales just fell off a cliff, even with better rates. This is where people get whiplash, because the market's doing the opposite of what it should do. The National Association of Realtors reported existing home sales fell 8.4% in January to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 3.91 million. That's also down 4.4% from a year earlier. And here's another detail most people skip. The median existing home price in that report is at $396,800, and that's up 0.9% year over year. So prices aren't exactly collapsing. So let's pause. If rates are a little better, why did sales drop hard and prices stay firm? Because the market has a bottleneck, and it's not the buyers. The real villain here is inventory and what they call the lock-in effect. This is the part that explains why you still feel stuck. Total housing inventory in that same report was 1.22 million homes. That's down 0.87% from December and only up 3.4% from a year ago. That equals about 3.7 months of supply. So basically, we still don't have enough homes listed. Now here's where the lock-in effect hits. Tons of homeowners have a rate they don't want to give up, and that keeps listings low. And you can literally see the reset happening over time. One recent analysis shows about 21.2% of outstanding mortgages are now at a 6% or higher interest rate, while about 20% of those are under 3% interest rate. So we're slowly moving out of that super low rate era, but it's happening slowly. Translation, a lot of homeowners are still sitting on golden handcuffs, and they're not listing unless they have to. And another stat to back up how sticky this is, homes are also taking longer to move nationally. Reuters cites that median days on market is at 46 days. That's up from 41 a year earlier. Now let's bring this home, because Birmingham has its own version of this. Redfin's Birmingham data for January 2026 shows that the median sales price is $153,000, and that's up 5.5% year over year. And homes are taking longer to sell, about 85 days on market on average compared to 74 days last year. Also, 121 homes sold in January, down from 149 a year earlier. So in Birmingham, you got this mix of prices holding up overall, homes taking longer to sell, fewer sales actually closing, which means buyers have a little more breathing room in some situations. But the right homes still get attention. And the biggest mistakes I see people make is thinking, rates dip, so now it's a buyer's market everywhere. It's not, it's location by location. So what should you do if you're a buyer or seller watching this? Well, here's the cheat code for a market like this. Stop trying to predict the rate and start controlling what you can control. Buyers, if you're buying, don't wait for the perfect rate like it's a light switch. It moves in waves. We're at 6.09% today. It could bounce up next week, or it could bounce down. We don't know. You also need to use the slower paced market to negotiate, because when sales slow, you can sometimes win on price, repairs, closing costs. Depending on the house, it really just depends on what you can get. And if you're looking at new construction, ask about incentives. That's where builders are competing right now. And you need to track your target area weekly, not monthly. The good stuff gets picked off quick. Sellers, if you're selling, prices matter more than ever because buyers are payment sensitive right now. Also, conditions matter because buyers compare everything to new construction in their head. And if your home is priced right, it still moves, even if the overall market feels slower. All right, here's the big takeaway nobody wants to hear. The market won't feel easy again until inventory loosens up. Rates help, but the inventory is the real gatekeeper here. So that's the weird truth. Rates improved a bit, sales fell, prices held because the inventory is still tight and people are locked in. If you want me to do a follow-up for your exact budget, like what does $350,000 buy me in Helena versus Alabaster versus Hoover, just comment your price range and the suburb you're considering. And if you want more Birmingham breakdowns like this, hit subscribe and I'll see you guys in the next video.